Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. Today is 2019, October 19th, Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. San Francisco time. Oh, today is Saturday. Nice. Am I alive? Yes, I'm alive. Good morning, George. George, isn't it 3 o'clock in the morning? It's pretty early for you. Let's pop this out. And I do have some topics, some random topics. So we're gonna talk about. And let's see what Bart says. Good morning, Bart. Bart says, how can a GNU Linux distribution be created that is exactly according to your dreams, that you would actually use it rather than Mac OS? Okay, basically, what is your dream GNU Linux? A Linux distribution you would love. Okay, that's several questions. Let me answer that. George says, any comments on 2020 election? Oh yeah, yes, of course. I have a lot comments about that politics. But so far, Tulsi Gabbard seems best. Yes, I agree. How would young bucks change your life? Young bucks. That idea I'm not much for. Boss says, okay, improve his life and would start a new one if he would follow a couple of simple rules. Other people, bashing fresh, what? Bashing free shit. Don't understand how hard some people's life are. Uh, okay, some people have it rough. Good morning. Good morning, League of Noobs. 1 a.m. Australia time, Perth. It's interesting that Perth in Australia, Perth is on the west side of Australia, on the lower left corner. Perth has have the same time as China, believe it or not, because if you look at Earth, it's actually below China, kind of. So we don't see your desktop. Oh, indeed. Let's switch back. Great. Thank you for that comment. Great comments. I always correct me in my live stream. Okay. There we are. So my English is pretty bad anyway. Sorry for that. League of News says, I have nothing wrong with what you are saying. I just hope that people are reasonable and not assholes. Okay. League of News. Okay. So let's begin. Let's begin at the beginning. Well, let's begin with math books. Real projective plane. This is projective geometry we talked about a few days ago. Projective geometry, real projective plane. This one is by by God, this stupid camera. H.S.M. Coxter is a very well-known geometer. He lived up to 100 years old. He died about 10 years ago. Real projective plane. Pascal's theorem. Okay, projective geometry. In fact, I have an article about that. Xali, projective geometry. Okay, I can see that we are going on into a talk trend. I will be talking non-stop for 1 hour. Real projective plane, because whenever I have a topic, I started to talk about something, then it's gonna be non-stop with multitudes of recursive digressions and great software. Oh, let's not forget that link. Great software for plane geometry. God. And let's look at projective illusion and harmonic conjugacy. You see, guys, this harmonic conjugacy. That is a theory in projective geometry, and quite a few quadrilateral and quadrangle. And the Disagas two triangle theorem. This is the most important theorem in projective geometry. Well, it's not the most, okay? It's not the fundamental theorem of projective geometry, but it is a foundation theory. Disagas two triangle theorem. It's fascinating projective geometry. And by the way, when you go study math in college in institutionalized education system, universities, you go there, you study math, you are a math major. After 4 years, you got a degree, bachelor's degree, and you would know nothing about projective geometry. Basically nothing, because it's not a subject they teach in general. It's like programming languages. Most of you guys know about your cam output lags. What the fuck? Let's see. Check. No, it should be fine. I think it's fine. Oh, it's lagging. I know why. It's lagging because I was opening all the web pages. It's loading. That's why. It must be why. So, let me know if that happens again. Yeah, it must be. When I'm opening pages. Uh, so so I was saying. So if it's like programming languages. If you study computer science in college, most college, maybe they teach Java, they teach Python, but they would never teach Lisp. Okay, so it does not, well, but it does not mean Lisp has no merit. In fact, it's or Lisp. So math is like computers. So some subject in math they don't really teach in universities, and one such example is projective geometry. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that a bit more, and showing and I'm going to show you my pages. I have actually quite a lot of pages to talk about, and this book. Now let's go back to this book, The History of Mathematics by Carl B. Boyle. You see, this is a thick one. This is a thick one. This projective geometry is a thin one, hardcover, and this history of math is a thick one. Uh, so these books mostly I read in 1990s. I'm a math buff. I'm a math fanatic. I live in math. I dive into. I have to read it every day. I dream of math and geometry every day. in in the 1990s, when you think about something, this, for programmers, some of you might also have this experience. Like you dream about some bug you want to solve or how to code something. Because when you think about something, dream basically reflects what's what you are thinking, what's on your mind. So if you do something every day, you think about it when you are dreaming, and sometimes actually some solutions come to you in dreams, and we have many anecdotes about that for physics. Great discovery of physics. There's some stories like that. League of Noobs says, I think about coding problems while sleeping. Yes, indeed. And this book, now this is another book. Now this one, actually I have quite a few history of math books. So I studied a lot history of math. Like I mentioned, programming syntax notation is extremely important. In fact, it's the most important thing of a programming language. The syntax, okay, not the semantics or what the fuck. Syntax is the most important thing in programming languages, okay? And one reason we can see that is from the history of math notations, okay? I talked about that in previous videos. Just search for Xali Math YouTube channel. And this book is an interesting one. This one is the stupid cat. The language of the body. Okay, it's got this pretty girl, naked. Oh wow, lovely, sweet, by Alexander Lowen, MD. Okay, medical something doctor. Um, and he's a psychologist or psychiatrist. I think he's somewhat well known, but notice this is an old book. This book is written in I think 1960s or something. The language of the body. Okay, so you can find it on Amazon. 1958. It's published in 1958. And do you know why am I reading this book? Because the personality disorder, as you know, some of you have seen my videos. Some of you have watched many of my videos, Bot, right? And Bot and League of Nations too. And oh, we got a Chinese here. George's wife here. Oh, good morning. Miao Min Xiu. Nice to meet you. George's wife here. He is always your loyalty guest every day. I can always listen to your voice every day, and it sounds interesting because you have a Taiwanese accent. Yes. Oh, you can tell. It's so familiar for me. Ha, enjoy. So Taiwanese accent. Do you mean when I speak Chinese, or do you mean you can tell from my English? So George, are you Chinese or are you white person? So did he marry you? Is he La Casa League of Nations? Uh, League of Nations. So what are we? Okay, so I was talking about this book. So this book is, see, he's a psychiatrist or psychologist, old fashioned, 1958. Remember, and when you read the book, 1960s book, the writing style, especially, he's a classic psychologist. He write a style. He describe the human um, behavior and body of the language. Okay, I'm reading this book. By the way, I bought this book like back in 1997 because I was researching what is wrong with me. By the way, that is a common question among young people because this happens often to young people because when you are young, when you are a youngling, doesn't matter if you are a human animal, if you are a cub, or if you are a puppy, or if you are a pussy, or kitten is the right word. Then the young, or if you are a young turtle, you die. The chances of you dying is high because you don't know, you don't have experience in life, and they are predators eyeing you the moment you are born. When you have turtles, sea turtles, they hatch on the beach. So when they hatch, I think they dug a hole in the sand. Then a bunch of them hatches. Then you have like 100 or something little turtles crawling out. And one thing very interesting that the turtle will know which way is the sea. They will come out. You have hundreds of them, little turtles, tiny turtles, and they'll just all head to the sea. But when the moment that happens, the eagles or whatever birds, they are swooping down and and eat you. So actually, there is another book I want to show related to this one. So anyway, I was saying when you are young, this is true for basically all animals. When you are young, you are the most vulnerable, not just physically but also psychologically. So young people usually have the question, "Oh, what's wrong with me? Oh, I'm different. Oh, you feel sad or depressed or things like that." Well, you'll get over. Especially this is when a parent and a good parent is critical. When you have a good parent, that's critical. When you do not have a good parent or a single parent, which is common every day today by the social justice fuckheads. Social justice kind of fuckheads. They created this situation, and the American Democratic Party, they made the American black people like 50% or 60%, they don't have a dad. Okay, it's all just mom and taking government welfare, because if you have a dad, you do not qualify. Okay, so so it creates the situation where the guys just leave. Or the women just get divorced so that they can, it doesn't matter to me, I can just take government money. So the American left Democratic Party created the situation where American blacks, like 60% or something, or even higher, don't have a parent, they are just mom, single parent. And when that happens, you're missing a parent or you have a bad parent, you create problems, for the young. So that is why. And actually, let me pick up the other book I want to show you. I am not sure I can find it because, oh yeah, there it is. Can you see it? Okay. Now it's very dusty. It's very dusty. So I have to brush it off. The betrayal of the body. Now, pay attention to this cover. Okay, look closely at the girl and observe. Okay, look. Tell me, what do you think of her? You see that girl. Observe the betrayal of the body. Okay, now observe the girl and let me know. Like put your psychoanalysis abilities on this face. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. There is the brush, and I'm going to brush it right off because it's all dust, all dust. Okay. Let's see comments. Okay, comments. I'm in Taiwan. I'm a Taiwanese, and he is a local Aussie. Great, fantastic. 妙敏秀女士。Oh, 小姐. I can tell your Taiwanese accent from your English, by the way. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Green Deck. Good morning, Green Deck to Russia. So the betrayal of the body is also written by the same guy, Alexander Lowen. Okay. Now I picked up this book first, then I picked up his other book, The Language of the Body. Why did I find? How did I find this book? And again, this is written in 1960s. Betrayal of the Body. Let me tell you what this body. 1967. Okay, this book is written 1 year before I was born. Now remember, I did a video on schizoid personality disorder. So in the 90s, when I was 20s, basically throughout my 20s and teens, I always have, you got problems like psychological problems, which is actually true for me because, well, my family and stuff, my background. So you wonder, oh, maybe I'm depressed because maybe I have depression or maybe I have something. But eventually, now I'm 51, Basically, when you get older, when you become 30, when you are 40, for example, you you don't have these problems anymore because you have experience. You know what how things are. I mean, so even if you have personality disorders like disorders or whatever, you pretty much get over it. So what are we? So what I'm going to say? Oh, this one. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that. What am I going to say? Yeah, so I was going to say today's talk show. Um, yeah, so I did a video, YouTube video on personality disorder, especially schizoid. I have like two or three videos about schizoid. You just go to my YouTube channel and search for schizoid. Okay, that's spelled. Let's see, Xali, Schizoid, schizoid. Okay, you'll find it, and there's an article. I did a video talking about that. Okay, you don't find. You have to click on YouTube. Okay, turn on script. You see the idiotic duck duck go. Do not cannot allow you to. If you have JavaScript off, you cannot just click it. You have to retype the whole thing. If you want to search images or videos, now you can search videos. So I did a video schizoid in meeting and schizoid. There it is, schizoid again. Schizoid. Four videos whose title contains the word schizoid. So eventually, I'm mostly. I would say, okay, I've never seen a shrink before, but I would say I'm a schizoid personality, which basically means a loner. So in 1990s, I was reading this book. Because I want to know what's going on. I want to know what am I wrong in some way. So I found this book, Then the Language of the Body, by the same guy, and his writing is very interesting because the Betrayal of the Body. Okay, let's talk. Let me show you this book, Betrayal of the Body. You see this girl. So what is your impression? Have you found the impression yet? She is a schizoid, like the prototypical, the stereotypical um, picture or illustration of a schizoid personality, so-called disorder. It's a disorder when your personality is so extreme that you cannot function in society, such as you cannot find a job, you cannot have relationships, things like that. And schizoid personality disorder is one of the disorders. You know, each one of us have personalities, but when it becomes extreme, then you call it disorder. Like you have antisocial, you have bipolar, you have bipolar is maniac depressive. You have many things. You have histrionic, which is a person who likes to be dramatic all the time. Green Deck says, "Who is your favorite Western philosopher?" That would be Bertrand Russell. He's not just my favorite philosopher, but he's my idol. Even now, I mean, even now, if I pick the top one person I respect in Western society, in English speaking, English author, that would be Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell is also the greatest, well, one of the greatest mathematician, logician. Okay, that's how you spell his name. Sorry, Bertrand Russell. I have quite a few articles of him. And okay, yeah, one of his book is History of Philosophy. History of the Western Philosophy. I think something like that. One of his book. But I have not read that one. So here are a few articles I have on Bertrand Russell. There are more, but what desires what yes, so there are three articles. I recommend you read them. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. Okay. Let me think. And he also, he's one of the great mathematician, and he's known as, if you go to encyclopedia, he's known as one of the great logician, and he's one of the great philosopher. He created the school of philosophy called analytic philosophy, which means you approach philosophy from kind of a scientific methodology. Okay, analytic philosophy. Also he's known as the positive logicism. That's a movement, positive logicism. No, actually, it's called logical positivism. Okay, logical positivism. That's one you can look up Wikipedia. Okay, Bertrand Russell, great logician, great philosopher, and he's also known as the great peace activist. So throughout his life, he advocated for disarm nuclear weapons. No war, and for that he went to jail. He went to jail by United States of Americans put him in jail. And he is also anti-God, well, anti-Christ, anti-religion. He's like today you have several popular guys who is anti-religion. They talk on YouTube, talk atheist. For example, what's the young guy, the uh, do you guys remember the name, the Harrison, the atheist who has a background of neuroscience? What's his name? He's one of the most popular atheists, so-called modern atheist. Begin around in 2000s. Guys, type it. What's his name? Help me out. Uh, okay, we digressed so much. Well, anyway, Bertrand Russell. Okay, that's my favorite author. So he's my favorite author. So I have here are several of his articles. For example, this one, knowledge. Oh, okay, not that one. Let's talk about the other one. Richard Dawkins. Yeah, Richard Dawkins is one of them, but he's not the first one. But however, if you search his name, the other guys will come up. Actually, I have a link here. Let me just show you. So Bertrand Russell wrote in 1927, "Why I am not a Christian." Okay, and okay, so he give many, and when you read this article, uh, not well, there's another guy, Harris, Ham Harris. Okay, anyway, at the bottom of this article, you'll find Sam Harris. Yeah, that guy. Young Sam Harris is a one-trick pony. Okay, Sam Harris. Casar's judgment. Sam Harris is a one-trick pony. He doesn't know much. Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens, which died a few years ago. So these three person, they kind of started the movement. I think there's a name, New Atheism. Yeah, I think it's called New Atheism around beginning in 2000s. So they began it, and and it's it's sad to say that actually part of this atheist movement became today's social justice fuck. That's what they became. Half of them, Uh, so by the way, if you are religious, that's great. Okay, I support religious people. Uh, you don't know Sam Harris. He talks about a wide variety of different subjects with different approaches. Actually, Dawkins is comparatively more of an OTP than Sam Harris. OTP stand for what? One trick pony. Okay. Uh, they all are. They all are. Maybe I don't know what's Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is a biologist, I think. But anyway, I've watched Sam Harris. I've watched he talk and his debate and his personality. I watched quite a few of his videos, like 10 over the past say 5 years. He he's 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 an academic, very knowledgeable. Probably better than me. Well, at least he's got more reputation than me. He's got certificate to prove that he know things. Unlike me, I don't have a certificate and I don't have money to prove it. So that's a sad thing. So anyway, but I watched him. I don't think he's certainly intelligent, and but I don't find him that much interesting for me. Okay, but how, for example, as an example, Jordan Peterson, I respect that guy far more than Sam Harris. Sam Harris don't know shit. It's one trick pony. And also Sam Harris has this personality. Sam Harris is has this personality. He's very competitive. He is highly competitive like me, okay? I mean, I'm talking about a personality trait. Like if you say something immediately, he's gonna try. I mean, like he's gonna just uh he's gonna just trying to counter it like by reflexively, try to counter it. Anyway, he's it's kind of a personality flaw, I would say. He's highly competitive, always in a argumentative, way. Uh, no, I disagree. Now, look, Bart, you have to, it's not like each person's opinion. Well, anyway, um, what I'm gonna say. So about that, well, you you can't be too sure. Anyway, that's just my opinion about Sam Harris. Okay. So anyway, Bertrand Russell wrote this article, "Why I'm Not a Christian." Okay, so you can read it, and then he also wrote this article, "Has religion made useful contributions to civilization?" So, for example, one thing religious people say is that, okay, maybe God doesn't exist or we cannot prove it, but at least religion is good in that they created a morality that helped society to prosper. Actually, that's, I think, is kind of true. But however, Bertrand Russell here says he just he topple he topples religion. He do not believe there's any good in religion. Okay, now I can tell you what I think. Okay, in regards to religion, let's say 10 years ago, I would believe exactly the same as Bertrand Russell would believe, that it really has no value in modern society. Historically, yeah, sure, because we don't have science yet, but in modern society, I believed that it's possible that religion doesn't really have any significance. Like I would imagine that we could live a society without religion at all and be prosperous. Okay, that this is 10 years ago, but today I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Maybe in the future. Okay. Again, before anything else, let me say, these kind of questions, nobody knows the answer. Bertrand Russell, yeah, he knows a lot, but he doesn't know. I mean, he doesn't know the answer to the universe. nor does anyone else, nor does Jordan Peterson, nor does Sam Harris. No, nobody. Okay, it doesn't matter how big they are, how what a scholar, how many awards they won. It's all bullshit. Okay, nobody know the answer about these kind of questions. About, for example, about whether religion, whether whether religion will have important, or will religion be helpful in modern society going onwards? Questions like that. Nobody really knows the answer. So I'm telling you my opinion. So I was saying back then, 10 years ago, I would say, I don't think religion needs to be around. But now I'm more of an opinion that we don't know. Actually, I would follow another great person I admire, I idolize, is Camille Paglia. Okay, now I also have several articles about Camille Paglia. Kungfu Paglia. Okay, watch this one. Wait, hold on a second. I need to open the link in a new tab. Okay, there we go. And another article, another article, another article, and another too many articles. Okay, let's just show five. Xali on Camille Paglia. Camille Paglia is one of the person in English speaking world I greatly admire. So I would say so far, it would be, she is one of them, still alive. You can watch lots of her videos on YouTube. And Bertrand Russell, and I think I would also put Jordan Peterson in my list as my top persons in Western society that I admire. Okay, now these are none. I mean, I'm not. We are not talking about computer scientists. We are not talking about scientists. Then it's a different thing. Like mathematicians. Then it's different. So we are talking about general scholars. General scholars, or people you admire. Not including mathematicians, because in math I have a lot of others. So Camille Paglia, she called herself a feminist, but she's a feminist of 1980s era, something like that. Okay, she's a second wave, first wave. Okay, she's great. Okay, she's also anti today's social justice fuck, and today's feminism fuck. Okay, those are fuck. Those are anyone who believe them. Yeah, they are either scumbags or they are ignorant young people. Okay, you can try to teach them. You could try. That's what you need to do. What you should do. Try. Okay, not just beat them up. That's not the way to go. You can try to, young people, teach them. So Camille Paglia, I admire very much, and so I have quite a few articles about him. Some of them are funny. Camille Paglia on Lena Dunham. Now I have JavaScript off. Oh, let's turn on JavaScript so the video shows, or at least you can see the screenshot. Okay, that's Camille Paglia on Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham is a social justice scumbag. Well, they don't have a brain. They don't have a brain, and they are sinister and they are mean. The meaning of the word mean. That's what some of these social justice activists are. Mean. That they are the type of a person who would beat you up, who would kill you, just for their just for their gain. So they get they get more famous or more money. That's these social justice scam people are, and the things they talk about. That's their means, to get themselves ahead. So here is Camille Paglia, and there is more. Camille Paglia on gender pronouns. Gender pronouns. I am a dragon king. From now on, you should call me a dragon king. Okay, I'm a dragon king. You know what king means? Question: what does the universe have? So a few comments. Jordan Peterson, have you watched Peterson's debate with Zizek? No. Uh, you can say you don't agree with Sam Harris, but you can say he's untrick pony. That's plain wrong. But you have to. I think it's not plain wrong. Okay, you might reconsider. You see, first of all, you are younger than me. You are 20 years younger than me, right? So I read stuff 20 years more than you. So how could you say that's plain wrong? Oh, you are just plain wrong. That's like us, like, oh, I don't know nothing. you know, you have you could say at least, I think I disagree, and I think from say something about your experience, like, oh, I watched this video or that, so I don't think he's a one trick pony. And also one trick pony is kind of, I'm just making fun of him, right? Yeah, I mean, of course he know other things. Of course he has a degree. He's a PhD in neuroscience, right? But this is our talk show. I gotta do some show. um so anyway, so what questions does the universe have? So what, Meowcat, good morning, Meowcat. Allow me to reboot the better to troll you with, because live stream doesn't work in Linux. You need to install Gentoo. You need to reboot and recompile Gentoo. Linux. That's the story of Linux. Good morning, Kathy. Oh, I'm keen on getting back to project geometry. Oh my God, I've been digressing so much. Okay, let's get back to that. I forgot what is the point I started to digress to. Oh, Bertrand Russell, because there's a question. So, anyways, here is some videos, and Camille Paglia. Okay, let me put it into my today's talk show page. Then let's get on to projective geometry. Actually, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to talk something about projective geometry, but it would not be technical, because that's a heavy topic. That's what you go to university. You go to university to math professors. Then they teach you projective geometry. But as usual, I can talk about it. Like, I tell you what it is about and things like that. Interesting things, in a talk show. Okay, and here is another article. So we talked about Bertrand Russell, right? So let me show you. So we talked about Bertrand Russell. Close that, paste it here. Why am I a Christian? Why I'm not a Christian? And has religion made useful contributions to civilization? And okay, here's another article: math prizes and Nobel ignobility. Nobel Prize is a fucking Western brainwashing scheme. Okay, Nobel, especially the Nobel Peace Peace Prize. Okay, why? I'm not going to talk about it in detail, but let's just read. Um, you can go to read Wikipedia. Okay, there is one article that discuss how the controversies in Nobel prizes become, at least has become, I don't know, maybe it's not so big, it become a weapon for, we can rightfully say it's a weapon for Western white people. For white people, it's a propaganda uh, weapon of white people. In particular, the Nobel Peace Prize They give that to whoever wants, whoever benefits the Western society. Political. It became a political um, thing. Where there is a philosopher who created the existentialism. His name is Paul something or something. I have quoted here. I didn't quote it here. It must be in another article. I forgot. But anyway, it's you can read about it, or we can talk about it in another day. Okay, here's another article from Bertrand Russell. What desires are politically important by Bertrand Russell. Now, this article is not about religion, and it's very interesting, and it's what I try to follow as well. Or you could say he wrote it before it's about when you study things, you have to study the motives, not just statistics. Statistics doesn't tell you much, but rather you want to look into the motives of why people what they do. For example, you can say Hillary Clinton or Trump or whoever politicians. You study, you look at their history and why they do things. You study, you look at their nature. Okay, as the serial killer Hannibal Lecter would say, you look at people's nature. Okay, that's this article is about. What desires are politically important? And this article is actually Bertrand Russell's Nobel lecture. He won a Nobel Prize not for peace but for literature. It's kind of strange. Okay, the proper award to Bertrand Russell should be peace, because he is one of the prominent peace activists. However, he also has done great things in philosophy, in mathematics. Okay, but Nobel Prize does not have a math category. That's a well-known thing. People say because the guy Alfred Nobel, I think, because a guy one time a mathematician cheated his wife, so he hates math. That's a law. We don't know if it's true or not. It's probably false. Okay, there's a Wikipedia article about talking about it. Why Nobel Prize do not have a math category. So anyway, so Nobel Prize, there's no math category. But anyway, Bertrand Russell, if he should won any Nobel Prize, it should be peace. But however, he got a literature Nobel Prize. So when you get a Nobel Prize, you have $1 million, and you also give a speech, like you have acceptance speech. And this is he's. I think this is the one. So he's talk about this. What desires are politically important? Okay, so that's about that. So close that. Okay, this article is one of my netiquette anthropology, which we talked about for 90 minutes yesterday. So it's about trolls, online trolls or online etiquette or behaviors or among the programmer hacker culture. So many people call me a troll. They say, Xa, you are a troll. Xa is a troll. They call me for 10 years. And so here's an article where I judge. What does it mean? So, like if you see especially my old articles, you'll hear me say, fuck Unix people, fuck Linux fuckheads, fuck Richard Stallman. You'll see me, fuck Larry Ward, the creator of Perl. Okay, you'll see me say that often, and too many people, in particular white people, fuck the white people. These, especially today, social justice type of people. So to them, they see me swearing and at people. They think, oh my God, this guy is just a scum. They think I'm just a scum. They go fuck yourself. You are a Western. You have your Western. You have your kind of in a bubble opinion. Okay, that's your view of the world. Okay, that's not, for example, that's not the whole entire Asian people. Asian people have more people in the world than you white people. Okay, but the white people, well, because I'm American, I live in America, so the people, what I see every day is white Americans people. So their opinion, and also because USA is the most powerful country in the world for the past 50 years. For what does that mean? For example, USA, United States of America, we, okay, I'm a member of it. We have the most nuclear power than anyone else on earth. Then all of you combined, I have more nuclear weapons than you, nuclear bombs. Okay, all the world combined, I have more chemical weapons than all of you. I have more biological weapons than all of you combined. Okay, so you better shut the fuck up. USA, we. So these white people, so their opinion, our opinions, the white, American led it, and European, especially in particular, the United Kingdom, we are brethren, we are the same seed, we are the same, basically we are literally the same because USA came from Britain, because USA are traitor of Britain, but when traitors become big, we have our own country. We disagree with you anymore. But originally, it's the same people. Mostly, more, more or less. So, white people. So that's why white people is actually very applicable. The term, invented, popularized by social justice scan, but also the white people, it's racial. The white people's idea, the Western ideas. I used to love the Western ideas because I hate the Eastern fuzzy Taoism or that Buddhism philosophy. It's all fuzzy. It's like it doesn't mean anything. You can mean you read the Buddhism or Taoist mantra or whatever they say. You have 1 million interpretations. Each person see different things. you know so I don't like. I'm a rebel. Okay, I'm a rebel kind of a guy, so I don't like. Since I was a teen, I don't like the Eastern. I follow the Western logic, the Greek philosophy. But anyway, today I see the Western, the Western thoughts philosophy is kind of have lots of problems. So today I'm kind of more. I don't. I value. It's more like it's not like Western is better than Eastern or otherwise. This you want diversity of thought. Okay, diversity of thought, not diversity of the social justice scan fuckheads, skin color and colorful hats, different colors of hats. So yeah, that's about the philosophy, Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy. So anyway, back to they call me a troll. So how do I judge people? I judge by the score I give to people is by it can be summarized by this formula: love plus knowledge divided by disrespectfulness. Okay, so if you have great knowledge and if you have great love is here means generic love, means you are a good human animal. So if you have that, then you are great. Divided by disrespectfulness, that means like how much fuck you say, how much despite you have against other people, like how much asshole are you. So if you are a big giant asshole, does it if you have great knowledge and if you are a good person, but however your assholeness is greater, is like a dinosaur, then your total score in my eyes would be still low. You see how this formula works out. So that is how I judge people. So because and by the way, so this philosophy love and knowledge is from, I read it from, I first read it from, I learned from Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell said, somewhere here, somewhere, I forgot where. Okay, here, the last part. Let me recite it. So he says, the good life is one inspired by love and guided by knowledge. Knowledge and love are both indefinitely extensible. Therefore, however good a life may be, a better life can be imagined. Neither love without knowledge nor knowledge without love can produce a good life. In the Middle Ages, when pestilence appeared in a country, holy men advised the population to assemble in churches and pray for deliverance. The result was that the infection spread with extraordinary rapidity among the crowded masses of supplicants. This was an example of love without knowledge, because they don't understand virus, they don't understand bacteria back then. And he continues, the late war afforded an example of knowledge without love, which is, for example, nuclear proliferation. Knowledge without love. I just want to bomb you, like the social justice scan are doing. They want to eliminate people who they disagree with. So in each case, the result was death on a large scale. Indeed, note, he says the result was death on a large scale. So either case, love without knowledge or love without knowledge, that is a case of the social justice scan purportedly to do. And knowledge without love, that would be the example of USA, maybe. USA control all the words. We do that. Knowledge and love. Okay. So actually, so let's go back to back to back to back to back to Twitter. Okay, we don't care about Twitter. Back to projective geometry. Okay, we don't have a chance to talk about that today, but we gonna open. Oh, did I just close my? Wait, where's my? Hold on a second. I had a lot projective geometry. Oh, there. Okay. So projective geometry in the 1980s are considered the most general branch of geometry. So during 1950, let's say, projective geometry is thriving. So it is intro to real projective. So it is the it was during the 1980s, 1800s, it was the hot topic, the popular topic. Everyone, mathematicians study, and so we learned a lot about it. But today it's kind of fell apart. So it was considered the most generalized geometry. But later on, we developed topology, which kind of took over. However, the two subjects are different: topology and projective geometry. Their nature are entirely different. Okay, so what are we going to say about projective geometry? Projective geometry is extremely elegant. Okay, it's very elegant, but it's not a popular topic. So, but anyway, in the 1990s, airplane just flew by very loud. In the 1990s, I was enamored with projective geometry. I was studying math, so projective geometry was very interesting to me because it's kind of like it's a pure geometry. It's a pure math. Okay, it's a branch of pure, very pure math, and uh, it's very extremely elegant. So maybe you guys like to study it, but it's you don't learn about it very much. For example, if you ask mathematicians today, you ask them perspe- perspectivity, they don't know what the fuck that is. Professional mathematicians even. Uh, so, for example, here are some of the. Okay, let me show you some. I'm not sure what to talk about. Actually, so maybe it's time to take a break and have a sip of my drink. And let's see the comments. Harmonic conjugacy, projective geometry is great fun. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, you don't need any calculus. You don't need sine cosine. You don't even need to understand trigonometry. You can start to learn projective geometry. Okay, but however, on the other hand, you could also say projective geometry is rather advanced. Okay, so you need a bachelor's math degree, major in math, to actually study projective geometry. Yeah, that is true. So on one hand, you can start to study projective geometry. You don't need calculus, no algebra, no. You can just you are a high school student. You can start to learn projective geometry. But however, that's what I did. That's what I was doing in the 1990s. However, there's a problem. You don't really get somewhere that's important. Okay, like what I mean by that, you could study it, and you could, for example, the book I just showed. The book I just showed, you can start. You can buy it. It's actually expensive. I don't recommend it. Because you buy this book on Amazon. It's like $100. Um, and that book is written so that you don't need calculus. And in fact, that's how you study projective geometry. There are many approaches. Okay, in math there are many approaches. So one approach is called synthetic geometry, which do not require any calculus or abstract algebra like group theory, field, rings, things like that. So you can study projective geometry like this guy did. The author, HSM Coxter. He's very well known. You can find his name on Amazon, on Wikipedia. Okay, HSM Coxter. He's a well-known geometer. He studied pure geometry, mostly synthetic geometry by synthetic methods, meaning you don't need the whole baggage of calculus or modern algebra. You don't need all the jargons, field, rings, groups, supreme and metric space, vector space. You don't need all that. And topology, topological space. You don't need that. You don't need set theory. Okay, you don't need all those baggage. That is the modern tower of math. So you study, you go to. That's what you do. If you major in math, that's a ladder you climb. But anyway, HSM Coxter, he usually does synthetic geometry, so you can learn it without all that. But however, you can do this like for over a year, and you will know a lot. You will know, actually quite a lot more than a professional mathematician about this subject, projective geometry. But however, it would not be actually useful in modern society as a mathematician or as anything else even though you know a lot about this subject, but even though if you are a genius, you even if you invented new theorem, like your name is gonna be part of history. Like there's a theorem, let's say Melcat's theorem in projective geometry. So you study like 2 years, without calculus or that. You could be so depth in depth that you have a theorem in history books, named after you. But however, if you do not follow, the modern math like abstract algebra, calculus, you have to know that topology. If you do not know any of that, you're you are kind of going nowhere, because that's how things are. Because anyway, I'm not sure I'm making sense. So anyway, it's very interesting projective geometry, Disaggers two triangle theorem. So I tried to understand this proof. It's fascinating. It's fantastic. This proof, Disaggers two triangle theorem. This theorem is critical. Okay, you can actually. So let's look at Wikipedia. This theorem is fundamental because it set apart Disaggers theorem. Okay, it let's see. Okay, now, like I said before, you see, I have shown several illustrations in projective geometry. You see, all you see is like a bunch of lines and triangles. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying you can approach projective geometry, without all the trigonometry, calculus, all those things. It's just lines. It's basically just lines and figures. That's all. But however, um, what am I trying to say? However, uh, anyway, I forgot what's my point. So anyway, on Wikipedia, you can see, they talk about the Sagas theorem. Again, you see just lines and points. But however, you see, if you read Wikipedia, you can see, Wikipedia is general. They are not approaching projective geometry purely from the synthetic geometry point of view. You see, all the things we see so far, these lines and figures, they those are approaching, the study or method of studying projective geometry from a axiomatic synthetic geometry point of view. So that's why you see, just lines and figures in the plane. But however, Wikipedia is general. So when Wikipedia discuss something like Disaggers theorem, they don't limit themselves in this point of view. They will talk about in the whole context of math. So here you will see the importance of projective geometry. I mean this particular theorem. So for example, projective versus affine spaces, self-duality, okay, proof of Disaggers theorem. This Wikipedia article is very small. That's why I'm telling you that projective geometry is not a popular topic. It should be a lot more, but they don't talk about much. So three-dimensional proof. Okay, so two-dimensional proof, relations to Papa's theorem. Okay, they don't talk about much, but okay. So yeah, they don't really talk about their relations to other things. But however, you can see that if you click on projective geometry, then it's huge. Okay, then this projective geometry, you can see the magnitude of the weight of projective geometry in math. Then you started to see how they talk about, okay, overview. Oh my God, what is this growth measure and the polar vortices based on the work of Lawrence Edwards? I don't understand what it is. In projective geometry, you have this polar. I don't understand. Okay, this is okay. I don't know what that is. So and history and okay and description and configuration. Projective geometry. You have these configurations, Fano plane. Uh, and then you have duality, which is a critical concept. Then you have axioms of projective geometry. Okay, we started to talk about various axiomatic approach. So these axioms are all axiomatic approach. Then you have they don't well, I was hoping they talk about something more. But anyway, so projective geometry, for example, in cryptanalysis, in number theory, cryptanalysis, in where today you have cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, they are based on cryptanalysis, and I know that I've heard. I don't know how it works, but projective geometry is used in those theorems to create things. Anyway, so I don't know too much about it. So let's stop on that. So Kathy says, interesting. I thought projective geometry is heavily related to topology and linear algebra. Yeah, no, I don't think it's related to not much to topology at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is true. Uh, and linear algebra, yeah, I can't I can't say much about. I don't know this subject too well to say. I need to study. Oh my God. So okay, so that's about that. Let me read the comments then. That's I think perhaps that is it. And today, uh, how long have I been talking? 1 hour and 10 minutes. And today, Bart asked me the question to address, which I did not address. But we can address it another day. And that is, that's a common topic we're gonna talk about often. So the question is, what is my ideal GNU Linux? What is my ideal distro? Okay, first of all, well, maybe this is not answering your question, but first of all, I don't want GNU. I don't want Linux. Okay, I don't want GNU. I don't want Linux, and I don't want the name GNU Linux. Okay, just Linux. Fuck GNU. GNU Emacs, yeah, Emacs, GNU Emacs. Linux, the proper, what? So what I mean by that? So Richard Stallman, in his opinion, he says we should call Linux by calling it GNU Linux because important part of it is GNU. His project, such as the shell, the bash shell, the compiler, CCP, GNU GC, GNU compiler collection, GCC, you know, Bison, many tools in Linux is from GNU project. So in his opinion, we should call it GNU Linux because Linux is truly, really, technically should be just a kernel. That's his opinion. In my point of view, that is incorrect. I mean, it's correct technically, okay, but all things considered, how we use language, how human use languages. If you study linguistics, you study all things, philosophy, linguistics, literature, you study all things. You study the naming of things. You study the science of jargons. You study the committee, the ISO standards. They have actually standards for naming of things. Also, you have standards for classification of math categories. You have naming is important thing. So you study, you have in broad point of view, then Richard Stallman's opinion about calling Linux GNU Linux is incorrect. I don't think that's valid. You should you should just call it Linux. Okay. Yes, it's true. We should give credit to GNU, but however, it's just should be just called Linux. When should you call it GNU Linux? When you want to, uh, when marketing is involved, and when you are a member of the Free Software Foundation, and you want to do marketing, then you call it GNU Linux. Okay, it should just be called Linux. So first of all, I don't want GNU. I don't want Linux. I don't want the name to be GNU Linux either. So what I want, what's my ideal? What according to my dreams that you would actually use rather than Mac OS. Okay, so I don't have well, ideally, I want a system that's that's for people, and it's good. It can be proprietary, but we can trust it. Good people. No lying, no devious tactics, no beating other people, no no underhand tactics, no things like that. If you have a group of people, that's hard to combat. That will almost never happen. Things like that. So, but in practice, and I mean, if we consider reality, then what is my preferred ideal OS? Suppose I can, put in some idealization into it, like, Linux. Like, what distro would it be? What is your dream GNU Linux? What is your dream Linux distro? Okay, so that I haven't explored Linux distro. So basically, the only one I have real experience for 4 years is Ubuntu. Okay, Ubuntu is based on Debian Linux. Okay, and but the other one I installed like in 1998 is MK Linux, which is my first Linux. I installed it. I used it for a few days. That's it. So anyway, so what is my ideal? So basically, I would say the Linux people, you want to first of all, which distribution I want? I don't know. Okay, because I don't really have experience. Maybe Arc Linux would be great. Because I want it to be clean and kind of minimal. No baggage, no pile of shit. Okay, just one thing and do it well. Okay. There's a NGNIX or Nix. Was it called Nix or something? NIX. Okay. Nix Linux. I think I heard good things about it. Nix OS. Okay. So it's based on pretty much functional programming ideas about managing packages. So I heard good things from my friends, and if I have time, I would try this. Okay, Nix, um, and I like the Arch Linux. Arch Linux, Arch Linux. They have a website, and that's the best Linux documentation because when I was using Linux about 5 years ago for 4 years, I about 3 years ago. So I was using I was looking into all kind of problems, and Arch Linux they always have the best explanation. They're truly the best about everything in Linux. Okay, they tell you the actual technical details. I mean, clearly, unlike for example Stack Overflow, which they call it Ubuntu one or something, or other places. Typically when you search Linux problems, you find 20 articles. 80% of them are 10 years old or 5 years old. And you have to dig after you read for 10 minutes. Oh, this one is 10 years old. God, fuck Linux. So anyway, I don't know much about Linux distro, so I think I heard that Nix Linux is great, and and also I can say that Arc Linux has the best Linux information. So that's about that. Uh, and the other thing about Linux I want to say is that I want the Linux people, okay, Linux, you guys, Linux fanatics, get rid of the fanaticism, okay, get rid of any open source ideology. Fuck open source, fuck open source, fuck free software foundation. Do that first of all, do that, okay, then you will be better. So if you fuck open source, what do you do? So what should you follow? What kind of you should follow? Just follow good things. Study, for example, if you are creating a Linux software, study languages, study technology, study Linux kernel, Linux kernel or something. You know your stuff. You study. Okay, a lot of Linux people already do that. Great. Also, yeah, okay, so here's the important thing. Study things outside of programming. Okay, that's important because vast majority, all the programmers at Google and basically all the Linux fanatics, fuckheads, they don't know nothing about literature, history, philosophy, linguistics, or other things. That's the thing, because when you lack knowledge about, go read literature and don't read fucking science fiction. I know because all the programmers they read a lot. They read science fiction. That's basically the only thing they read, science fiction. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you want to study all the other things, okay, literature, because that truly enriches your thinking. That truly enrich your thinking. Okay, then when you actually code Linux, when you write a program software GUI, when it comes to decisions or what license should you choose, you actually make better decisions. Okay, as opposed to the vast majority of programmers, the tech heads, the Unix philosophy fuckheads, and the Linux fanatics fuckheads, open source fuckheads. They don't have these. They are just tech heads, and they have, of course, they have 1 million opinions on politics, on what license should it be, on open source, how great it is. Fuck them. They don't know nothing. That is why when they code, they are GUI. They sucks in every way. They don't know how to do things, and they fight. They fight with each other. Linux is fractured. 10,000 district, and everyone is different. Everyone is like have their own like a philosophy or opinions or fuck. Going nowhere. Where there is one place Linux is going to Google and Facebook. Empires, evil empires. That's what you fuckheads doing, Linux and open source fanatics. Okay, but so that is my opinion about my dream OS. Okay, okay. I think I should stop. Every video should have 10 minutes rant. Um, so there is another question. I think that why don't you we don't okay. So whoa, German book. You read a German book, huh? Which one? Uh, it's one of the absolute highest German book published in Germany. Huh? Which one? Uh, I forgot. This is your cam output lags. Okay, it's better. Okay, I forgot which one is that. Meowcat. So Meowcat. That's a point of Gentoo. Okay, Meowcat. I know you are a fan of Gentoo. Are you still on Gentoo, and are you still a Gentoo fan? Everyone have their own disease, XR. Everyone live stream curse Free Software Foundation for 1 hour. Zwanzika Hansel. What is so wrong with concepts in this? Okay, I did a video on that. So yeah, I did one video on that. Check it out. Just go to my channel, search for Lisp. You will find several. So we can talk about. So Meowcat says, "I'm not a Gentoo fan, but I still use it." No, you are a Gentoo fan. You are a Gentoo fanatic, as far as I know. What do you mean you are the not Gentoo fan? You like Gentoo? So I don't know anything about it, but I learned from you. You told me that Gentoo is the one that where it, the fame of Gentoo is that you compile in the beginning you choose what package to compile, something like that. Okay, you don't care about them. Okay. Yeah, Melcat says I'm banned. Melcat says actually I'm banned from Gentoo IRC for over 10 years. And I know you are banned in multiple places like me. Okay, so that's it for today. So what is that? Because I like your Ubuntu looks. I like your Ubuntu looks. What theme is that? What? I'm on Mac OS, my friend. Robert. Roberty Sores. I'm on Mac OS. Okay, thank you guys for coming. Okay, so I think there's no more questions. Then that is it for today. And I'm gonna shut down in 1 minute. Thomas Curtis says, "What do you think about QUBS? QUBS. I don't know what is that. La Casa. Thank you, La Casa. Good. Have a good day, guys. Kathy, let's look. What is QUBES? Cubis. Cubis OS. Oh, another OS. A reasonably secure operating system. Oh, they have a Wikipedia. Let's go there. OpenBSD is greater than Linux. Well, OpenBSD, the BSD is kind of dead. Linux just took over. Uh, Cubes OS is a security-focused desktop operating system that aims to provide security through isolation. Okay, yeah, I don't know operating system technology much. In fact, I'll be hard pressed. I don't know much about it at all. So I don't know the operating system technology. I don't know how it works. So when people talk about, for example, when people talk about open BSD versus Linux, to me it's just the same. It's the same thing. It's just Unix. Every Unix is the same. So Solaris, so I've used I sysadmin Solaris for 4 years, 1998 to 2002. So I've used HPUX. That's Unix from HP. I've used IRIX, which is from Silicon Graphics, Unix. I've used there's also AIX from IBM. I've never used. There's also A/UX. That's Apple's Unix. Rare, not many people know it. I've never used it. Apple's AUX, okay, A/UX. That's a proper way morphology. Apple, so IRIX, AIX, so yeah. Anyway, I'm shutting down. So XARD, AIX, HPUX, IRIX. I love these names. I used to lots of articles. My articles contains them. Let's search and see what we find. AIX versus Solaris versus HPUS UX versus IRIX. how, how old is this article? What age is this article? This must be 2000s, early 2000s. Ars Technica. Ah, that's a forum discussion. I thought it's an article because nobody even know what those are anymore. The Unix pestilence. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming. If you like my stuff, go to my website and go to my homepage and you'll find my Patreon and PayPal. So support me. Thank you guys. Okay, bye guys.